Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the Red Line on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Good day to everyone that has decided to join me at this time in the morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is my pleasure to come to you again. I hope you have been receiving some great insights and messages that will motivate you, that will inspire you to continue to grow and learn and become that much more better, impacting your community, your workplace, and every place that you go. This is a 15-minute call. It's designed to start your week off on a positive note. And so on today, I want to start out by saying to you that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so today's subject or today's topic that I want to discuss over the next 15 minutes is entitled, Life is a Passing Parade. When you really think about it, life is truly a passing parade. Whether you've been to a parade or you've seen it for yourself, the episodes of life continue to just pass by, and at some point, we're going to reach our destiny. From a Christian perspective, we say from earth to heaven, and that in-between part is all about life experiences, things that we've learned, things that we grow from, things that have perhaps been positive or negative. But if you're not doing something in your life, it doesn't matter really how long it is. Some folks live to be 80, 90, even 100 years old, and some folks die at an early age. But wherever your destiny and your time on this earth, it is so important that you're doing something, you're contributing something of value and something that is positive. And you know, it really doesn't matter how long your life is, but what we do with the time span that we have. And so it's all about the quality of life versus the quantity of years, because we can live a long life and not get much done and just sit home and be a couch potato. What is your underlying desire in life? That's the question this morning. Is it self-fulfillment or self-development? Is your goal to be successful or to achieve significance? Think about these questions. Self-fulfillment is all about self. But then there's something about self-development, because the more we put in, the more we can gain insight and be able to put out. You know, in my business and sales, as we interface with our key decision makers each and every day, we are selling something, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, or whether it's ourselves, we're selling something. And the key to being successful in holding a successful conversation is really all about adding value. When you cannot add value to a conversation, particularly in a selling conversation, then the person that you are making your sales pitch to, they're going to run out of time on you real quickly, and they're going to leave that particular presentation and get on about their business, because we're not about trying to waste someone's time, but to bring value. And so what's important in my business is to be a collaborator and eventually build an alliance that the key decision maker will see us as the expert and the person that they can go to get some great information that is ultimately going to build their business, expand their business, make them more profitable, and give them a greater share of market. And so being able to self-development means that we must continuously grow, continuously learn, and continuously be on the lookout for the things that change throughout the course of life so that we can stay and remain relevant. I was sharing the other day with one of the co-workers, and now that we have this technology with our iPhones and our iPads and everything that we have, and back in the day when I was in college, we didn't have those things. We had a typewriter, and if you made a mistake, you had a little white out and you corrected it. But look where we've come. If I stayed back in that era, in today's world, I would be totally lost. But because things changes and life is a parade, I am able to make the adjustment and stay relevant with the times. And that's where we are, and that's what I'm encouraging you to do this morning, is to stay relevant with the time. And so self-fulfillment or self-development is your goal to be successful or achieve significance. And it really should be both, because we want to be successful, but we also want to be strategic and significant about what it is that we bring to the table, so that people will be on the edge of their seat and they would want to know more and learn more and grow more and become a magnet to growing and learning. So this morning, today, I challenge you to be all that you can be so that you can help others be all that they can be. It's not about just you. It's not about just me. It's about really growing ourselves and then turning around and growing others. And so who we associate ourselves with, there is an impact that we can make. There is value we can make, and vice versa. There should be always an exchange from the people that you're working with, the people that you are depositing in. There's something in them that can help you, and there's something ought to be in you that can help them, and it makes for a powerful exchange. You don't want to be around negative people who just seem to be complacent and don't want to go anywhere and just be content where they are. You want to continue to be able to grow each and every day. Whenever people stop actively learning and growing, the clock has already started ticking down to a time when they will no longer have anything left to give. They'll just give themselves up and be emptied, and they'll be empty before their time because they won't have anything relevant to say in today's time. But then if you continue to learn and grow, you will be able to go down this road of life, this life parade, and be able to stay current and stay relevant. You know, the former president, Jimmy Carter, he said this, I have one life and one chance to make it count for something. My faith demands that I do whatever I can, wherever I am, and whenever I can, for as long as I can, with whatever I have, to try to make a difference. Now, that's a whole lot of words, but I want you to catch this. He says, my faith demands that I do whatever I can. And you know, there's a whole lot of things that are out of our control. But what is in our control is where we're at today, where we live, where we work, where we play. That's what we can control. And then wherever I am in those places, whenever I can, and for as long as I can, and whatever I have is to try to make a difference, to leave an imprint, a positive one that will change people's attitudes, will change people's directions, will change people's minds. I've discovered I've been on this earth to inspire people, to motivate people, to teach people. And I'm just glad about it because I'm learning along the journey. No, I don't know it all. I'm still learning. But what I do know, I can share with you, and it can make a world of difference. And certainly I'm listening to learn from you as well. You know, Ben Franklin, he once said, I would rather have it said he lived usefully than he died rich. Ben Franklin didn't see the world in terms of how much he could make from it, but he saw the world in terms of how many people he could help. Wouldn't the world be a better place than just grabbing and trying to get to the top of the hill and be the millionaire, the billionaire, just to say that you are rich and famous? But it's more to it than that. It really comes down to what you are able to do in other people's lives. He saw, Ben Franklin, in terms of how many people he could help. How many people can we help today? It's not about handing out checks and handing out money, but how many things that we can do in terms of providing insight, in terms of sharing wisdom, in terms of sharing experiences and mistakes and the negative things that we've learned in life, that we are able to turn it around and make it a positive. Wouldn't that make a great friend? Wouldn't that make a great mentor? Wouldn't that make a great coworker? Wouldn't that make a great coach or manager on a team? It would make all of the difference when we're able to have those types of discussions, those types of insights, and being transparent and being real with people and sharing with people. You know, every day Ben Franklin would ask himself this question every morning. He would say, "What shall I do today?" That was his question. What shall I do today? And in the evening, he would ask the question, what good have I done today? And when you think about it, when you intentionally go about doing good and intentionally writing down the things that you did, it makes a difference in your own life. So I ask you to take heed of what Ben Franklin does each and every day, and ask yourself each and every morning, what shall I do today that is positive? And in the evening, before you close your eyes and go to sleep, what good have I done today? You know, Zig Ziglar, he says, you can get everything in life you want if you help enough people get what they want. No one succeeds alone. Think about that. If you just think that you are all by yourself and nobody's going to be there to support you and to help you along life's passing parade, but if you take the mindset and the attitude that you can get everything in life you want if you help enough people get what they want, because most people, probably 9 out of 10 people, will return and give back to you if you give to them. But if you don't want to hold a requirement in meeting friends, I'm going to scratch your back if you scratch my back. Forget that. But just go about doing good. And if you do good with enough people, and you might even forget who they are down the road, but then they come back out of the blue and they just bless you in such a way that you never could even imagine, because you made some deposit into them and did not expect anything in return. And lo and behold, they show up months later, years later, and they do something so special that you just overwhelmed by the blessing that they bestowed upon you. So get a hold of this and realize that we cannot succeed in of ourselves. We're going to need help along the way. And that the measure of success is not the number of people who serve you, but it's the number of people you serve. So I want to close with a couple of quotations here that's going to bring it all together, as we've been talking about life and we've been talking about the passing parade. And so Robert Louis Stevenson, he said, I consider success of my day based on the seeds I sow, not the harvest I reap. And then George Washington Carver said, no individual has any right to come into this world and to go out of it without leaving behind him a distinct and legitimate reasons for having passed through this life. If you want to keep giving, you have to keep growing. The greatest gift, my friend, you can give to someone is your own personal development. Thank you. God bless you today, and let's make it a great week. Until we speak again, this is Dr. Charles Speaks. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about the Red Line, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. Like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.